Ever feel like your screw-ups are the end of the line? Like game over? Or maybe you've heard that old saying, if you're born poor, it's not your fault. But if you die poor, it is. Ouch. Has it ever hit you that you're the one to blame for not hitting our goals, while everyone else just magically made it big all on their own? If any of that sound familiar, you're in a good company. Let's spill the tea on our failures together, because trust me, we are the majority. Hey everyone, you're tuning into the very first episode of Failure Chronicles, and I'm your host, Saber Moshirian. Think of this as our little rebel hangout, where we figure out how to chill with ourselves in this crazy world. So, what's the deal with this podcast? Today, I'm gonna lay out exactly what we will be diving into, give you a quick intro to our main topic, failure, and then hit you with a sneak peek of what's coming in future episodes, plus how we can all connect. Welcome to Failure Chronicles. Seriously, stoked you are here. One of the most mind-blowing videos I've ever seen is from a NASA probe after it zoomed way past Earth. It did this epic U-turn, pointed its camera back, and snapped the farthest photo of our blue planet ever taken. In it, Earth is just this super tiny, pale little dot lost in a sea of stars. And over those images, Carl Sagan, the legendary American astronomer, drops this incredibly powerful speech he gave back in '94. Let's kick things off by listening to that together again.
The Voyagers were guaranteed to work only until the Saturn encounter. I thought it might be a good idea, just after Saturn, to have them take one last glance homeward. From Saturn, I knew, the Earth would appear too small for Voyager to make out any detail. Our planet would be just a point of light, a lonely pixel, hardly distinguishable from the many other points of light Voyager would see, nearby planets, far-off suns. But precisely because of the obscurity of our world thus revealed, such a picture might be worth having. While almost everyone is taught that the Earth is a sphere, with all of us somehow glued to it by gravity, the reality of our circumstance did not really begin to sink in until the famous frame-filling Apollo photograph of the whole Earth, the one taken by the Apollo 17 astronauts on the last journey of humans to the moon. It seemed to me that another picture of the Earth, this one taken from 100,000 times farther away, might help in the continuing process of revealing to ourselves our true circumstance and condition. It had been well understood by the scientists and philosophers of classical antiquity that the Earth was a mere point in a vast, encompassing cosmos. But no one had ever seen it as such. Consider again that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on the mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam. The earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors, so that in glory and triumph they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to kill one another, how fervent their hatreds. Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe, are challenged by this point of pale light. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit? Yes. Settle? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known.
Nothing is more human than messing up. And honestly, nothing's madder or more crucial than figuring out how to fail well. Yeah, I know. Sounds kind of weird, right? But failure's gonna happen, plain and simple. So, we gotta find a way to deal with that gut punch feeling and all the regret that follows. This whole idea comes from Alain de Botton, the awesome English philosopher, in his book on failure. When you hear that old proverb, every failure is a stepping stone to success, it can feel kinda exhausting. Either we don't buy it, or if we do, we figure out it's only for those super geniuses who got some alien help or something. But seriously, the folks who came up with that proverb were missing a huge piece of the puzzle. Human history, from way back with Adam and Eve to right now, is one giant string of failures. These screw-ups have always been nipping at humanity's heels. So much so that we've kinda gotten used to them. But can we ever actually stop failing? In today's world, victory and success are like plastered everywhere. on social media, in the news, you name it. The massive pressure we got from society and everyone around us to make it turns the fear of failure into all sorts of anxiety and stresses. This mad dash for wins and building a perfect successful image has sidelined failure as one of the most important human experiences. Alain de Botton nails it when he says our societies are obsessed with success, and not just any success, but a super specific, rigid definition that's all tangled up with money and status. In his book on failure, he basically preps us for all the ways we might flop. He believes if we just accept failure as part of life and learn how to roll with it, we will actually have a much calm life. Sometimes our failures are super obvious and common, and other times we are forced to hide them like a dirty secret. De Botton totally gets it and tells us to embrace failure's role in our life and stop beating ourselves up so much for all the curveballs life throws our way. From his perspective, failure is a given. So we've got to find a way to deal with that feeling of dropping the ball and all the what ifs that come with it. It's pretty wild that even with all the pain and suffering in the world, not many books are out there to actually comfort us when we are in our own personal hell. The few books that do talk about failures often feel so detached and artsy that it's like entertainment and enlightenment are the only priorities, and tragedy is always something that happens to other people. Maybe these books are about divorce, losing a job, public shame, death, exile, being ridiculed, scandals, or having a breakdown. Maybe they make us sigh and cry, but somehow we just assume that we won't ever go through anything like what's in the book. You read about the main character being mocked and spit on, seeing the hero trade their family home for a shack, and then you check the lock on your door, crawl into your warm, clean bed, and drift off, expecting a peaceful tomorrow. But when it comes to real lived misery, words often fall short. What do you even say to someone who just lost their income, or watched a loved one die, or is seeing their career crumble, or can never go back home? Their problem is so massive, their mind so messed up, that maybe they just want silence. A silence that understands tragedy better than any pointless chatter. Walt Whitman, that legendary American poet, drops this line in his poem Song of Myself. Long live every man and woman who has failed. He's brilliantly showing us that failure isn't just a quick blip, it's a constant vibe in our lives. So, by that logic, failure isn't just a warm-up for success, it's a warm-up for another failure. Human culture has always seen failure and setbacks as a wrong turn on the main highway to success and achievement. Bihan Budak, a brilliant author and psychologist from Turkey, shares some wisdom in his book. Don't look for happiness where you have failed. Over time, I realized that no matter what I succeed at, there will always be things I fail to do. The world is packed with stuff beyond what any human can do or handle. It's just human nature to sometimes feel like you're failing, or you're anxious, or sad. Sometimes I've even had experiences that felt totally unfair to me. I've grilled myself endlessly about why this happened to me and why that person acted that way. Then it hit me. The world isn't some fairyland. It wasn't made to just shower us with joy or sorrow. This world is a place where we experience things, and we are the ones who give them meaning. In this world, everyone's just doing their own thing. Nobody intentionally trying to mess up my past, no matter how good I am. Some people will treat me like a crap, and sometimes I will face injustice. Yeah, those experiences made me sad, but the best cure was just to chill out a bit and keep moving forward. Only a tiny fraction of things we think we can control in life are actually controllable. Seriously, trying to control world events is a massive headache, but if we pour our energy into our own little world, we can totally level up both our own lives and the lives of the people we're connected with. In this podcast, I'm gonna try and talk more about this constant struggle that comes with being alive in this wild nature. This is all about making peace with the hidden truths in a polished image of our lives that society tries to sell us today. This isn't about popping some happy pill and just chilling in a corner, doing nothing. No, this effort is about getting real with reality, stopping the self-blame under all that social pressure, and making the most of the short time our genes have given us to live in this beautiful, mind-blowing natural environment. Instead of wasting our lives chasing success with all those weird miracle cure motivational formulas, only to end up regretting everything and feeling depressed, let's take a good, hard look around, accept the truth, and just enjoy the ride that chance throws our way, even if that path is packed with failures. Look, we are not gonna ditch our dreams here. We are not stopping our grind to hit our goals. No, we gotta be ready to grab those random opportunities that pop up in life and keep pushing to make our world better. But here's the kicker. We cannot let our failures feel like the end of the road. And we definitely cannot let them make us feel down and isolated, totally missing out on enjoying our short lives. Like it or not, we're gonna hit a ton of failure in every part of our short lives. In this podcast, I will be looking at failures from a bunch of different angles. A big chunk of the podcast will be all about books. In this section, I will try to break down and introduce relevant books on this topic for you. In another part of the podcast, we will dive deep into human experiences. This will cover the history of failures of civilizations, societies, and individuals across various fields. Probably one of the most interesting parts will be the stories of economic and financial fails from individuals and companies. And in the history section, this time we are not gonna rehash the stories of conquerors. Those stories we've always been fed. This time I want to look at history from the perspective of the defeated, losers, and failures. And we will see how even those who felt they were at the peak of success and glory watched failure unfold right before their eyes, even in the societies they ruled. I really hope that by hearing those stories of human failures and chatting about setbacks, I can help lift some of that insane social pressure to succeed off your shoulders. And in the end, we can all agree We are not responsible for all the failures in the world. Not all of us are gonna become millionaires and billionaires. Maybe only 1% of the nearly 8 billion person human population will be super rich. And let's be real. 99% of us probably are not and will not be in that 1%. For us to even be in that 1%, a ton of stuff beyond our control has to happen from the moment we were born. So, let's keep doing our thing. But let's not sacrifice enjoying the journey just to reach a destination that we might hit too late, when we can't even enjoy it anymore. Honestly, if we can just live our lives with good physical and mental health in a balanced way, we are total winners in this world, in this chaotic world. We are just a tiny, pale blue dot in this endless, massive existence. You can catch Failure Chronicles on the most podcast apps, including Castbox and Spotify. And hey, help us out by spreading the word to your friends. If you're more into visual stuff, you can watch the videos for each episode on this podcast YouTube channel. Plus, you can always hit me up via the email in the podcast description with your thoughts, critiques, and suggestions. Have a great day and talk soon!